Hello and welcome to Math with Mrs. Havrilla. This is Mrs. Havrilla and today we're doing Unit 3, Lesson 6. Today we multiplied two non-unit fractions together. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. Number one is a circle all. So we need to circle all of the expressions that represent the area of this diagram here, this shaded region. So I have 5 options. The first thing I'm going to do in order to solve is I'm going to go ahead and find my length and my width because I know that I need length times width to equal area. When I look across the top, I can see that there are 2 shaded in out of 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, so I have 2/4. When I look across the side, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 shaded in out of 6 total pieces, so I have 4/6. If I were just doing length times width, 2/4 times 4/6, I see that here as E. So E is one of my answers because that is just the standard way to solve. Length times width. If I do length times width, I do numerator times numerator, 2 times 4 to get 8, 4 times 6 to get 24, 8/24. So if I have to pick between A or B, A is not 8/24, it's 8/20. B is 8/24. So B is an answer. So now I've narrowed it down to C and D. And I notice that the 2 and the 4 are the same in both C and D. And when I look at my picture, it's actually saying 2 holes times 4 holes. Well, I can see 2 being multiplied times 4 here when I look at the length and the width of just the yellow. So if I were imagining there was nothing else at all and it was just this, it's kind of like saying 2 times 4. But once they do 2 times 4 to get 8, they're going to have to then multiply by the size of each of those pieces. So when I look at that, I know that my 8 is going to have to somehow become 8/24. When I multiply a whole number times a fraction, I multiply whole number times numerator, and the denominator is what stays the same. So let's say I did 1/4 times 1/6. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 6 is 24. So then I would do 8 times 24. Whole number times numerator, 8 times 1 to get 8. And then the 24 stays the same, 8/24, which looks like my answer that I picked for B. C will be my answer. Why? Because when I look over here, 2 times 4 gives me 8. 4 times 6 gives me 24. They already have the answer of 8/24 in the parenthesis. And then they're going and multiplying that times another 8. That would give me 64/24, which is way too much, so it cannot be D. My answers were B, C, and E. On to the back. I have a couple of pictures here, and for all of them, I'm going to write out an expression and then write out the area. An expression is like an equation without an equal sign, so I'm not even going to solve it here. I'm literally just going to put the answer over here, breaking it into 2 pieces. In order to write my multiplication expression, though, I need to find length and width. So when I look across the top here at the length, I see 3 shaded in out of 4 total pieces. When I look at the width here on the side, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shaded in out of 6. So my multiplication expression could be 5/6 times 3/4. And then I'm just going to multiply and put my answer over here. 5 times 3 is 15. 6 times 4 is 24. It says in square units, so I guess they just want me to write that out. Next one, finding my length. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 shaded in, so 4/5 is my length. Then I've got my width here, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 5 shaded in on the side. So I have 4/5 times 4/5 here. Numerator times numerator, 4 times 4 is 16. Denominator times denominator, 5 times 5 is 25. I have 16 25th square units. And then looking at C, finding my length, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 6 shaded in. And then my width, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 7 shaded in. I'll take those two numbers and multiply them together. Numerator times numerator, 4 times 5 is 20. Denominator times denominator, 7 times 6 is 42. So I have 42 square units. And last, number 3, the art teacher is designing a new bulletin board display. 3/4 of the bulletin board will be covered in pumpkins. 3/5 of the pumpkins will be made into jack-o'-lanterns. What fraction of the entire bulletin board will be jack-o'-lanterns? 3/4 of it is pumpkins. 3/5 of that is jack-o'-lanterns, of giving us that keyword to multiply. So 3/5 of the 3/4 of the bulletin board is going to be pumpkins. 3/5 tells us to, or of tells us to multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. 5 times 4 is 20. So 9/20ths of the board will be jack-o'-lanterns. And that's all I have for today. So be sure to check in again next time for help with your homework.